Um, okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to complete number 2, part B. The question reads, determine the solutions to the quadratic function x squared minus 2x equals 63. So just like in my first video, just as a reminder, whenever you see determine the solutions to the quadratic function, you should be thinking that one way you can find the solutions to a quadratic function is using the quadratic formula, and that's on page 19 in your Unit 4 packet. So just like we said in the first video, the first step when you're solving using the quadratic formula is to check to make sure that your quadratic function is set equal to 0, because we're solving for the zeros of the function. So we can't identify a, b, and c until our equation is set equal to 0. So notice when we look at our equation, it says x squared minus 2x equals 63. Oh no, it is not set equal to 0. So what we have to do is we have to take it and we have to change around our equation to make sure it's set equal to 0. So I'm just copying down the equation. And what I do is I like to draw a line down my equal sign, and I need to ask myself, how can I make one side equal to 0? The easiest way to do that would be to take the 63 and get rid of it on that side. So how can I make 63 equal to 0? Yes, exactly. You have to subtract 63 from both sides. On the right side, when I do that, 63 minus 63, I achieve my goal and I have that set equal to 0. But on the left side, I have to look and I have to say, is there a c value already that I can subtract 63 from? So remember, a c value is just a constant by itself or a number by itself. Because there's no number by itself, I just have to add the minus 63 on as its own term. So I'm going to rewrite it as x squared minus 2x minus 63 equals 0. Now that I have that done, I can identify my a value, my b value, and my c value. So remember from our previous video that in standard form, our equation's written ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the a value is always the coefficient of the x squared term. So in this case, in our quadratic function, in the x squared term, our a value is 1. Our b value is the coefficient of the x term. So in this case, our b value is negative 2. And our c value is the number by itself. Remember, we added that term in. It's negative 63. Sorry. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to plug it into the quadratic formula. So we have x equals, and then it's negative b, so I need the opposite sign of b. So here our b value is negative 2, so I'm going to write positive 2, plus or minus the square root. And again, I like to put parentheses in just to keep my places. So b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So I'm just going to plug in my b value of negative 2 here, my a value of 1 here, and my c value of negative 63 here. And then my a value is 1. So now I need to simplify under the radical first. So negative 2 squared, I'm going to just write this up. Negative 2 squared, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And then negative 4 times negative 63, I know that's going to be a positive, so I'm just going to write that first. And then 63 times 4 is 252. all over 2 times 1 is 2. So then I'm going to continue to simplify under the radical. So 4 plus 252 is 256 all over 2. So then when I take the square root of 256 in my calculator, I get 16. So once I get to this point, this is when I like to write it as 2 different answers. So I have x equals 2 plus 16 divided by 2. And I also get x equals 2 minus 16 divided by 2. So 2 plus 16 is 18 divided by 2 is 9. And then 2 minus 16 is negative 14 divided by 2. That's negative 7. So your solutions to the quadratic function x squared minus 2x equals 63 is x equals 9 and x equals negative 7.